get it. I think we have sound. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me get this screen a little bigger so I can see what is going on tonight. And we've got a camera missing over here. Let's see. Nope. See if I can't take this one out. There we go. How is everybody? It's good to see you all. For those of you that don't know, I've been gone about 2 weeks. I had a heart attack and ended up in the hospital. So pay attention to those symptoms. They are a doozy. But tonight I've got two projects going. I've got a quilt on the long arm that I am custom doing, but I've been in a little bit of pain today, so I don't know how much of that I'll be able to show you tonight. But I also have this beautiful quilt over here. Move this camera around so you can see. Um, that a customer gave me. Now, her husband's grandmother quilted this, and they needed it bound. So I'm going to put the binding on for it. Oh, Karen, I miss you so much. God bless all of you. I am so glad to be back and be with you girls again. I wish you were coming to retreat. I could sure use a hug from you. But I'll start chatting and put this over here on my lap. And for the first little bit, so we can see if my pain goes away a little bit. And it's not heart pain, no chest pain. Don't worry about that. Um, if I quit hurting, it's kind of a byproduct of the medication and the surgery that's causing me some ladies' issues. But so how are you doing, Karen? What are you working on? And anybody that comes in, say hey and let us know you're here. And can you guys believe it is still daylight outside? I was going to go live at 6, and I thought, well, people might be outside enjoying this beautiful weather, so I'm going to wait a little bit and go on. Are you sewing, Karen? And I better grab my water. I'm supposed to drink 4 of these a day now. I don't know about you girls, but I was never a big water drinker, but I'm going to be. I have learned that that is very important. Oh, there is Diana Stark. How are you, sweetheart? So, Diana, I heard a little rumor today. I made the mistake of telling Pepper what I was doing to surprise her, and now she's wanting to go whether I go or not. What do you think about that, Diana? I am going to try to go with you girls, but when I saw that, um, so for those of you that don't know, I run a quilt shop in Bridgeport, West Virginia, and I've got some girls that are so great to me, and I needed some kind of a project to surprise them with to go out and spend time with them that wasn't working on quilt shop or talking shop. And I found this mosaic class for lamps. And I was going to take them, yes, today. We were supposed to go today. And yesterday I got the call that the instructor had COVID. And it's a traveling show. So there's another one in Bridgeport, but it's on a day that the quilt shop's open. So I really want to go, but we'll have to see what we can do because I don't want to leave girls behind that I was going to take. It'd kind of be like cheating on them. That's good to hear, Diana. There's Dottie Dillon. Hey, sweetheart. Every once in a while, my screen is jumping. Am I coming in good? Am I coming in loud and clear? So, one of the things I love the most. Let me see. Pepper's calling. Hello, Miss Pepper.
To get her done?
Yeah, I'm live. I thought maybe you were calling to
Oh,
tell me to turn my microphone on. Say hi,
oh,
Pepper.
hello. I'm gonna let you go. I didn't know you were live.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. She knew I was talking about her. That's what it was. Let me turn my phone down. There's Mary Bosch. Mary, God, I can't wait to see you and Wendy in another like 9 days, 10 days. We are not far. But so both of these quilts that I'm going to be working on tonight, hopefully both of them, um, they are from a girl that's I can't remember if it's her mother-in-law or her grandmother-in-law made all of these blocks and actually had this quilt hand sewn together. And I'll show you the whole quilt in a minute. But so they brought me these to finish, and this one all I had to do was square it up and sew the binding on. The others, I needed to square the blocks, add sashing, and make a quilt. And it is so amazing. I love seeing all the new quilts that people make, but seeing old quilts is just unreal. I love seeing these old quilts made out of shirts and different fabrics because they used to use whatever they had. And the hardest thing is doing these quilts because you're trying to match fabric up, new fabric that's, bright and shiny, but there are some vintage fabrics with older fabric and thread. It's really hard when they have used everything but the kitchen sink in their quilt and you're trying to use a thread that matches and there's so many different colors and you don't want to use a color that doesn't go with it. So that is one of the hardest things. Hey, Miss Sharon, how are you, sweetie? Good to see you, hun. So that is one of the hardest things. Do I have any other? I know, I think Sharon used to long arm. Sharon, did you fall into that kind of pothole when you did older quilts trying to get materials and patterns that would match and thread? There is Miss Regina Myers. Hi, sweetheart. Are you sewing today or have you been outside, Regina? And this quilt that I'm about to show you on the long arm, if I get this little pain to go away, it's not a heart pain. Don't anybody start panicking. Just a byproduct of the surgery and the medication. But if I get to show you this, so I was just supposed to do, an easy edge to edge. But two of the quilts she brought me are for her daughters. There is Debbie Novak. Hey, sweetheart. Jan Phillips. Hey, Miss Jan. Um, she brought me these to do for her daughters, and I wanted to make them special because they're from their grandmother or great grandmother. I can't remember which. But so when I put it on, the only thing that would look good is if I custom did something. There's just so many. I think she might have made these blocks at different times in her life, different periods, because there is such an array of fabrics. And I'm talking any. Oh, I need to cut some of this off. This ain't gonna. Oh, yeah, it will. Okay. There's such an array of fabrics. No, I'm gonna have to resew that part. Doggone it. That's okay. I can skip over it and go on. That it was very hard trying to see, no matter what thread I used, it looked odd with some of it. So, so I had to custom do it, and I'm using two different thread colors, and I'll show you in just a few minutes what I'm talking about. But so if you guys that have done other people's quilts, have you ever ran into that? Anybody? Or is it just me? I know a lot of times Pepper gets on to me, and I'm going to need the scissors for this. Pepper will get on to me for going the extra mile on these quilts and not charging for it, but I just want I just want the customers to love them and really enjoy and if a quilt's talking to me, I just got to do what the quilt's telling me to do, right? There is Angie Stevenson. Outside at camp. I don't blame you a bit, Miss Regina. I'm jealous, but I don't blame you a bit. I wish I was outside at camp. Yeah, this one, I think the reason the woman didn't finish this one, didn't put the binding on, was a lot of the backing did she hand quilted it, and a lot of the backing didn't meet the front. So there were places that I had to cut uh, a little bit out to meet it because there it in the back she just used whatever she had. So it's got all kinds of different patches on it, and there was just no way for me to match anything up and sew like a whole line on it and even make it look right. So I had to cut maybe like inch and a half to 2 inches off of one side because it didn't meet up and there was just no way to make that look good. But it's going to be a beautiful quilt regardless. So Angie, how was the concert? Her and Marie decided to go to a concert in a rainstorm last night. And you ever get a bad feeling that something's going to happen and you don't know what? And I don't know if it's from what's gone on with me in the last 2 weeks, but I just got this bad feeling. And they had told me that they were going, and for some reason it was worrying me to death. So I made two grown women text me when they got to the concert in Charleston and text me when they got home. I think it was like 1:30 in the morning and I hadn't heard from Angie and I got online to yell at her and say, did you girls make it home yet? And God bless them, they texted me both times to let me know. Older than me? Oh, well, thank you for answering me, Angie. I think I might have had to drive to Marie's house if I didn't hear from you girls last night. But maybe I'm just jumpy from what happened to me. I don't know. Crazy. And you're welcome. I think about all of you guys. I'm glad it was good. I love you, Diane Workman. Thank you, honey. So, are you still arguing with the dog, Diane, or what are you doing? I'm gonna try to get up here in a minute. I want you girls to see this quilt I'm doing and try to do some work on it. I texted Shauna today and said, I swear to God, I'm working on it. I'm trying. She's not worried. I'm worried. I don't like being behind, but this one's gonna take me a couple days. I'm hoping maybe tomorrow to have it done, but I want you all to see what I'm doing. And I'll have to roll that back a little bit. Let me get these binding clips on and I'll show you all. So what's everybody else doing? What are you all doing? Regina's outside at camp. Anybody sewing? And in case you haven't seen this one, this is the front of the quilt I'm working on. And I did not quilt this one. It was already quilted. I'm just putting the binding on for her. And she actually brought me 10 of the most beautiful sets of blocks that had been started by her mother-in-law or grandmother-in-law. I don't remember which. And I've done 3 of them so far. This is the 4th and the 5th. But it has been an exciting journey doing this with her, figuring out what the quilt is saying and what design needs to be on it. It's been a lot of fun. It's a lot easier when you can speak to the person that actually done it and know what they had in mind. Just chilling. Oh, Barbara, it's so good to be back. I wondered if I should go ahead and go back tonight, but I missed you all so much. I thought they won't mind if I'm not doing a whole lot. Oh, you're at Dima's? Oh, and there is Kenyon Adam. Hello, honey.
What are you doing?
I'm live. Say hi to the girls.
Hello,
I think that was hello. What do you need, sweetheart?
hello. Nothing.
Cecil didn't tell you I was going live?
No, I've been outside cutting trees down.
Oh, you're cutting trees down. Be careful. I'm
I'm
sure
done.
I'm sure a couple of the girls now are going to tell you, like Regina's going to tell you to be careful.
I'm done cutting them.
All right. Well, I
It's
love
cleanup
you.
time.
Well, you get it cleaned up and I'll call you after I'm live.
Oh yeah.
Love you, babe. Sorry, I knew if I didn't answer, he'd keep calling. He's getting ready to get on, so he'll see you guys saying that. I do like it that my boys like to be on my lives now. That's pretty cool. Are you guys getting any feedback? Every once in a while, my camera's like, kind of like it's storming outside or something, giving like a little flash. Anybody seeing that? All right, I'm almost through with this row, and I'm going to get up and see if I can't do a little bit of this gamble for you. I was trying to figure out how many people in here have a long arm. I knew you were going to say that, Regina. So, last night there's fill and there's trim. And the fill, when you do the fill, it's like if I'm doing you'll see in a minute, a box or a triangle, it wants to keep going around that box, the outside of the box or triangle, and it won't let me do jump stitches. There's Kenyon. It won't let me do jump stitches. Kenyon, I told you Regina was going to tell you to be careful. So I thought I could, instead of filling in a box, I thought I could like do boxes on the outside and fill the inside and do trim. No, that doesn't work either. So what I'm doing, and you'll see here in a minute, is once I'm finished with the entire quilt, I'm going to go back over it and do the lines again so they're all filled in instead of just most of them. And I'll show you what I mean. That has been my biggest problem the last 2 days is trying to find a better way. Yeah, there's a lot of this that I think is going to have to be trimmed off. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side for a minute and we will see what we can do on this long arm. All right. So first, I'm going to roll it back a little bit. I want you all to see the last row I did. And if I get to hurting, I promise I'll sit down. You just saw a flash. See, it's not just me. I didn't think it was. Alright, so I think this camera has a long enough cord. I can take you at least part of the way down here. And I don't want to make anybody dizzy. Okay, so here is the quilt. I put the sashing on, and her mother-in-law or grandmother-in-law had done the blocks. And then down here's more of it. There's 7 rows, 5 across. And what I did was I wanted to do something special in the stars. So I had to find a pattern that would actually fit inside the 8 pieces of the stars. And then I wanted to do something around the outside. So I did the pebbles around the outside. And then I'm going to do something special in between before I go down to the next row of stars and pebbles. And then I did feathers and stars up at the top. I wanted something flowing and I wanted to do something with stars because it's a star quilt. You guys like that? Good deal. Good deal. Now, when it is doing like this part right here, because it's an edge to edge pattern, it wants to do this first part and then it follows the lines around and then it does this first part. And then it goes back over and follows these lines around and starts on these instead of just going across. It's driving me crazy. So I'm going to set this camera up. You guys got a nice view of my hand there. And let me roll the quilt so you can see the back. All right. So here on the back, let's see how close I can get. Okay. So you can see like this little space is missed. Over here you'll be able to see more. Like this right here. It didn't go across there. There's a little space there. So later on, I'm going to have to go back over this with a ruler and go straight across these edges to get the star points in and to make sure that everything looks uniform going across it. That's the only thing I don't like. I wanted it to do jump stitches and it didn't do the jump stitches, but there's one of the designs I did on one of them. Every other one has this. It's actually like a dragon design, and then the other one is the feathered design. So, but it looks very pretty on here. I'm so pleased with this. I can't wait to show her. There is Nellie Hunter. Hey, Miss Nellie, how are you? I am so glad you guys like that. Now I'm gonna figure out how I can get the camera up here for you guys to see what I'm doing. Normally I would have a camera stationed up here. And you know what? I wish I would have had, Next week I'll see if Cecil can't put the camera behind there. That would be very helpful. Yeah, so we'll see if we can't do that. But I'm gonna see if I can't get the camera where you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. Is this? Hmm. There's gotta be a way. Where there is a will, there's a way, right? Let's see. Okay, I think that'll do it. That'll at least give you guys an idea. So the first thing I do when I roll a quilt, and you guys just saw me roll it back, I lift the quilt up to make sure that I don't have a bunch of wrinkles under it, because you definitely don't want any wrinkles under your quilt. And especially when you're doing the custom quilting, because you'll see in a minute how I'm skipping the middle sashing that's going across. So I don't want anything making waves under there and feeling bad. And I think, all right, now I've got it. Pull that out. Okay, and then I'm going to straighten my quilt top down. And if you girls have any questions about the long arm quilting, let me, any questions, period, let me know. And if I miss a question, somebody else repeat it for me so I see it. Now I've got this measuring tape across here, and what I do is I center the quilt on the long arm, and I've actually got the leaders marked with the centers, and then I've got this center marking the center, so I can keep up with where the center is and where my borders are to make sure as I'm quilting, the quilt isn't going awkward on me. And I did have one up here at the top too, but I accidentally cut it with a pair of scissors. Would you believe that? Okay, so after I get it straightened out, what I do is I take the iron and go over it. And I should have tilted that a little bit so it would go ahead and start heating up. Cheers anyway. Alright, while that's heating up, I'll look and see what everybody's talking about. Okay. There is Karen Bush. Hey, sweetheart, I love you. I do not have. Are you talking about the stars on the quilt? It is from somebody's either mother-in-law or grandmother-in-law, Karen. But I'll look for it and see if I can find it. And it's all out of old clothes. Isn't that cool? I love it. All right, so then I go over it all with an iron. Make sure everything is nice and crisp and make sure there's no puckering going on. I do have one pucker right here that I could not help because the woman's star had a pucker in it. And I've noticed there's one or two places on this quilt where that's happened, but that's okay. We can work with it. And one of the most important things that I'm doing while I'm going over this, especially when you have a quilt that has been done a long time ago and by hand, you want to check and make sure there's no holes. Because if you've got a hole and it's hard to fix once it's been quilted, it's much easier to fix before that. And you always run the risk of your foot grabbing a hold of that hole and yanking it and ripping the quilt. So you always try to get rid of any of those before you do anything. Now these bars I might have showed you guys before. I got these at Harbor Freight. I love them. I just take them and pull straight in, just lightly pull, and that keeps my quilt top taut for me. If I don't break a light. Or break my head. I had one of them come down on my head one day. That wasn't good. And then I've got it. I don't know if you guys can see it down here. I've got a little bit of a pucker down here. But when I come down this, when I'm doing this sashing, I'll be holding that when I go across. And you won't even be able to see it after that. Okay, so now let me see. Can I turn this around? I think I can. Okay, so here is my screen. These are the pebbles I was doing, but I'm going to do stars right now. And I'm going to cancel that out. Go over to my project. And right here is, I've got this star right here. I also have, that's the same one. I also have this star I was doing, and I think there's some different ones on here that I think I'm going to try that block for, that I think might work because it's a very odd star. So we'll try that here in a minute. But, let me see, what am I going to try on these? Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one here. And what I'm going to do, I have to find a spot for it. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit draw boundary. And then down here on my keypad, it tells me I can hit select and I can hit close drawing. So you guys are going to see me do that on the machine. See if I can get it where it shows that star. I know you can't see it real well, but that's the closest I can get the camera for you guys. So I'm going to every point on here, and I've got a keypad right here that I'm going to hit. I might be able to hold this. So on this star, if you can see here, I've got a little laser light inside. And I'm going to follow this pattern right on the edge of this. And I'm going to hit that button all the way around this star. And this is why custom quilting takes a while. I can't even imagine the way Dottie does it. Most people do it by hand. I cannot do it by hand. If I'd done it by hand, Pam Cooper can tell you I will ruin your quilt and I'll have to rip it all out and do another time around. I cannot draw. Let me see. I can't hold this well. There we go. Maybe you guys can see it like that. Okay. But I'm just hitting little points along this pattern so I can put that pattern inside of here. And we're going to do 2 stars and then I'm going to show you how I fill in with the pebbles. And the reason you want to hit so many points along the way is it's not perfectly straight. And I don't want it straying off of the pattern onto the beige. I want it to stay right where it's at. So I'm following all the little curves and everything, the slight deviances in the fabric. So the machine stays right inside that pattern. And we are almost finished with the star. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the fabric kind of goes straight and then it curves. So I'm going to do a little bit more on that one to get those curves in. And there we are. And if you look up here, you can see that I've got that star up there, and I'm going to get rid of that triangle in the middle. And delete. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pattern, I'm going to bring it right over here. Wish I could, let me see, I can zoom in. Yeah. So you guys can see some places where it's coming off, so I'm going to try to turn it just a little bit. Oh, wrong way. See if there's any way I can get it to where it is not touching any sides. And this one's going to be a hard one. Let's see. I've got all but this little edge inside of the boundaries. Let me see. And I could take the points, but if I take the nodes and start moving it, I'm afraid it's going to, let's see, not that one. There we go. And let's see if I can get this side. There we go. And looks more centered. And what it is, uh, especially in the older days when they were cutting everything with scissors, drawing lines, and hand sewing, um, it wasn't as perfect. So these are built on perfect blocks. So when you're trying to get that onto something that looks great, it looks absolutely beautiful, but there's curved edges. It's not exact. Like if you look at the middle here, there's spacing in between each of these. So it's not exact. It's hard to get that perfect star inside of there. So I try to manipulate it to get it as perfect as I can to make it look good for the customer. And I am using this, I don't know if you can see it on here, this really light mint green in these stars because there's a lot of pieces of green in all of these. So I thought that would pick up really well, and then the little gold pebbles would pick up. So that is what I've been using on those. And then all I have to do now that I've got it centered is get the camera back from you guys. First of all, all I have to do is hit mode select. Here's it. Now, all I have to do is go over to mode and select, and it is going to start at the start point of the block. I'm going to pull up the bottom, hit go, and then after just a little bit, I'm going to take these handy dandy little scissors, and because it already gave me a tie off there, I can just snip that. It's already tied off, and away we go. Yeah, Karen, I'm loving doing this one. All I did was square up these blocks and put the sashing in. How have you been, Karen? I'm sorry I haven't got you called back yet. I've been kind of in a snit. You bring this over and you guys can see it while it's going. Let me get you guys busy real quick. I really like this pattern. It's kind of flowing like the feathers that I did, and it kind of looks like hearts right here. And it fit the stars perfect. Karen, if I called everybody back, I don't know when I would stop calling people, but I do want to get you called back. I didn't realize after the heart attack in 2 weeks, a week in the hospital and a week at home, uh, I didn't realize how close we were to retreat. I was like, holy cow. But it's a good thing. Well, Karen, you'll be happy to know I couldn't walk my driveway for the last 6 months, and I've been walking my driveway and farther. I walked a mile like day 3 of coming home from the hospital, which really made me happy. Yeah, doesn't that look like a heart? I was so happy to find this pattern. Do you walk to like a dog park? Is it a busy city you're in or what? And Karen Wayne, if you're on here, how's Wayne, or Karen, Karen Wayne, Karen, shoot, Warwick, how is Wayne doing? All right, and that went right back to the place where it started. So all I have to do is pull the bobbin and tie off there, and then I always leave that thread and bury it. But let me do that, and um, we'll do another star, and then I'll show you guys how I did the bubbles. Let's see. I think I should have came around this way. Yeah, we need a better camera setup, Seth. Come back to mom. I had him here for a week. I should have had him working on this, huh? Okay, so let me pull my bobbin. Pull another tail. See, you guys, I just bought these. This is going to be the deal of the week Monday. You'll see it online. It holds your scissors in place, and it's got this nice, I think it's got 20 foot on it. But I keep forgetting and taking it off instead of pulling it. I'm not used to it yet. So do the same thing. I'm going to draw another star. Where's that first one? So, okay. Show you guys how I do the pebbles. Karen, are you sewing on your well, Karen Warwick and Karen Bush. Karen Bush, I don't think has her long arm with her, but Karen Warwick, are you sewing on that new long arm yet? I need to get on Facebook and see what you guys are doing, but I think I'm a little overwhelmed by all the work I missed, and I'm trying to catch up and not feel bad, and I'm trying to rest in between, and I need to clean my house. I had offers, the girls coming over to clean for me, and I thought, well, before I let anybody in to clean, I need to clean. So, oh, it's really not that bad. The first day I was having the heart issues, I scrubbed my kitchen because I was afraid something was wrong. So I didn't want kids or anybody coming into a messy kitchen. So I scrubbed the kitchen and moved everything on the couch. Wasn't real bad. Please don't think I'm a nasty person. I'm not. I just hate for anybody to see a mess in my house. Almost finished with this star, outlining it. Okay, I'm going to close that drawing. I'm going to pull the star with the camera. I'm going to pull the star over. this triangle. Delete and pull this over. This up. I hope you guys can see that good. There's Shanna Bolyard. Shanna, look what I'm working on, honey. This is her. Shanna, was this your husband's mother or grandmother? So I'm bragging on your quilt, just so you know, on your daughter's quilt. I'm bragging. All right, so we are going to get this to where it is even here. That a little bit. This a little. And this side needs to go this way a little. Just good. Just don't like that one's kind of touching. There we go. Still a little bit over. Okay, I think we're pretty even on this now. Might try to bring that up a little bit. There we go. All right, so now we're going to put this star on. Let me take you guys with me over here. Grandmother, yes, it was her husband's grandmother. So we're going to put this one on. Let me go and pull the bobber real quick. Yeah, Shannon. Like I said, I'll let that go for just a minute. And then once it gets far enough away, it's already tied. Let it do the design. I was showing them the back. It's going to be as pretty as the front. I cannot wait to see how the back turns out with all these designs on it. I kept the colors light. See it in here. You really got to look at some of these to get the design. But like here, you can see that design on it. And that's just where I need to kind of be soft and hide the thumb. Yep, it sure is. Tell him I said thank you for letting me work on them. I love them. So after I got out of the hospital, when I went to my grandmother's, I took her quilts to work on just to give me something to do to keep my mind at peace. I had to have something, and I didn't have a long arm, so I squared up blocks and sewed this quilt together. But it is beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful quilt. I cannot wait to see this all finished. I love it. And if you're new here, make sure you say hey and let us know where you're from. We always love having new people in. And I don't know if you were on earlier, Shauna. What did I do with it? Oh, I was also putting the binding on this one. So I'm going to start sewing it tonight. But I use this red. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Let me see. red. Just had something come up on my screen. Oh, what is going on with this computer? Okay. All of these red blocks in it, so I use this red with the sewing needles on it, and it looks really good with it. So hopefully I'll have both of these done the same day. That will be wonderful. Like I was telling you girls before, you can see here where there was a slight pucker in one of the quilt blocks that she had done, but I didn't want to take her hand stitching out and redo it unless I had to. And that is such a slight bump. When I hold this up, I mean, that is not something you're even going to notice. Once we get the pebbles and stuff on, it'll probably, as you can see, pull out of there. So you won't really be able to tell it. It is just a tiny, tiny piece. But because you don't want to take away the integrity of the blocks that they had, unless there is a huge problem, like if you have a piece that isn't all the way sewed and you need to sew that together. That would be something I would go back and do. But something very tiny like that, you're not even going to notice when you're doing it. All right, so that is done. Let me go ahead and take that out. And I'm going to show you guys how I do these pebbles. All right, so I'm going to set this, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to set this up here so you guys can watch me. And I've already taken that off. And I'm going to go up here and delete the star we just did. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do, there's no way to do that pebble pattern all the way around here because it wants to trace back over itself. So what I've been doing is doing it in blocks. Like this is going to be a separate sashing for the quilt. So like I'll do this block and I'll do this triangle on the side because this border is going to have a separate sashing, this block and this triangle. But then when I get over here to the middle, I have this piece that is kind of like an eye that I can do this in. This is where I was using the chalks. So that's going to come right out. All I have to do is take a damp cloth over it. So if you can see up here, and I can't use this, I wish I could. I want to sew in this area right here that is kind of like a capital I. But it won't let me use these two designs or it'll try to fill them. So the first thing I'm going to do is just like we did the two stars, I'm going to hit each point on this to make this where it'll fill. And then I'll show you how I take care of that. I am so glad you like it. I am loving this quilt. All right, let's see. I need to. Oh, I just knocked the camera over. Hang on just a second. Let me hit draw boundary. There we go. And this is why it's taken me so long, Shanna, so you can see why. I'm on row 2 of 7. Oh, but it's worth it. This is going to be so pretty. And now in this one, just like before, I'm being very careful because even though sometimes it looks like a straight line, it'll like curve up or curve down, and you want to make sure that you have enough points to catch all those curve in and curve outs. So it's not the thread won't go inside the star when it should be outside of the star. But it doesn't take very long to do that, and the extra care you take means a lot when you're looking at the finished product. All right, last line across. Okay, now let me show you guys how I do this part. Let's see. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is close out this drawing, and I'm going to blow this up so everybody can see. Okay, now I need to get rid of the stars. Can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me now? I don't know what's going on. Wow. Oh, okay, you guys can hear me now? Good deal. Good deal. Thank you. Okay, so you always want to check your bobbin. And one time I had the bobbin line caught behind the bobbin when I stuck it in the machine. Major issues. Another time I didn't have it in the right hole all the way pulled through and I put it in. So sometimes I forget, but you always want to feel under there. I still have static. I wonder what is causing this tonight. Nicest day of the year and I'm still having trouble. But I'll finish this and then I'll get off. But you always, oh, I want to show you guys the pebbles though. Hang on, because I want you to see it. Can you still see me okay? If you guys can see me okay, we'll deal with the static till I get the pebbles going. Okay, so I have pulled my bobbin thread and I'm going to hold on to this and then I'm going to go ahead and start the machine. Let me sit you guys down for just a second. And you guys are going to see how this does it with the pebbles. Now, you can see how it comes down the side here. That's the only thing I don't like about doing it this way. But the good thing is I was going to outline all of these stars anyway. So it's actually doing most of the job for me, but I'm going to have to go around after I finish the quilt and make sure I hit every point on the quilt to outline it because it does a lot of unnecessary work. And Shauna, these two are chalk marks, they'll come out. So don't worry about that. I was trying to do something different and I decided I wasn't going to try my own 2-year-old handiwork on this quilt. And now, I just realized what I did. So I don't know if any of you caught that, but do you see this? I was doing it in the green. When I changed the thread to the gold back there, I did not pull it all the way through. So guess what Becky's going to do now? I'm going to be ripping all those stitches out. Sorry, Shauna, you won't be able to tell, I promise. Doggone it. I was getting carried away wanting to show you guys the pebbles, but so that's how it does the pebbles, and it goes around and kind of outlines it and goes back across it. So I don't like that part about it, but I was going to be outlining everything anyway, so it is what it is. But it still looks really good on the quilt, and I think she'll be really pleased on it. And I'm glad you got on to see it, Shauna. But because we seem to be having issues, I will let you guys go for tonight. Wow, we've been on over 2 hours. No, we've only been on a little over an hour. Angela, I am feeling so much better. I would say 95% better. It is amazing. And for those of you that did not see my video, if you start having trouble breathing, going up steps, I couldn't go to the end of my driveway without being out of breath. I was exhausted all the time. And then came 2 nights in a row where I had pain in my elbow, pain in my wrist. I had to keep rubbing it. It was like a toothache. It wasn't real bad. It was like a bad toothache. Nothing that would have ever sent me to the doctor if I didn't have an aunt that was having those symptoms that had 3 heart attacks. So if you are ever in that situation, then it started in my jaw and down my neck. If you ever have those issues, please go to the doctor and tell them immediately. I was having a heart attack and I was 99% lost. The stress tests were normal. I passed 2 stress tests in the last 4 years, one 4 months ago. The EKGs were normal. The lung tests were normal. The CAT scan was normal. The ultrasound showed nothing. My blood pressure was down because they kept upping the blood pressure to make it go down, but I was 99% blocked. One more week, and I would have either been in open heart surgery or I would have been in the ground. So please, don't play with that. If you start having those symptoms, I would rather have you go to the hospital and hear, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, and it not be that, than for you to lay in bed and have a heart attack. So, thank you for asking that, Angela. I appreciate that, and oh, I'm so happy I'm feeling better. But I'm going to go ahead and get off since you guys can't hear me well. Shauna, I'll be working on this all night. It might be a couple days. I'm only on road 2, but I'm trying. But you have a wonderful night, everybody. I love you guys to death. I'm so happy to be back with you all. And I will see you all. For those of you doing the block of the week, Wednesday, we'll be doing the block of the week. If Seth has not posted it, by tomorrow he should be posting the coloring page and the video with it to do the coloring page. Also, retreat. If any of you all want to go to retreat, we still have 11 spots available. It's going to be so much fun. The 18th to the 22nd of March. So it's in like 10 days up in Millersburg, Ohio. Wonderful time. And thank you. Oh, there's Andrea. Hey, so good to see you. Thank you. But you guys have a great night. Thanks for helping me live my dream, and I hope you're all living yours. I love you guys. Bye bye.